Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Starr Room. I'm your host, Empress Leah Starr. Blueprint to a Millionaire is more than money. It's the journey of becoming the person God created you to be through faith, purpose, resilience, love, healing, wisdom, and leaving a legacy that impacts others. Every guest who joins us brings a unique piece of that journey. And my hope is that something shared today encourages you on your own path. Today, I'm honored to welcome United States Marine, entrepreneur, author, husband, father, and motivational speaker, Jay Setchell. Jay has overcome extraordinary adversity, endured dozens of surgeries, and refused to let life's challenges define his future. Today, he inspires others through his book, The Strength Within You. It's always too soon to quit. Jay, welcome to the Starr Room.
Well, Empress Leah, I am glad to be here, young lady. You had a great presentation. You got it down. Thank you very much.
Definitely, Jay, before people knew the author, the entrepreneur, or the Marine, there was simply Jay. Looking back, what moments in your life helped shape the man you become today?
I was raised on a working farm in northern Illinois. We had a lot of crops. We had fed about 1,200 head of cattle a year. We had lots of hogs, chickens, all that. And so responsibility, sense of urgency, um, ownership of what you need to do, the realization of the cycle of life, because you saw calves born, calves grow, calves become mid-size, they ship off to market and they go to feed the people. Whether it's crops, whether it's working, taking care of all that in 100-degree temperatures or when it's 35 below zero, it doesn't matter. So I never look at anything as being hard to do. It's just a matter if you're willing to do it, step up, take ownership, be responsible, and move forward. So I learned a lot from and I'm older. I'll be 77. So I learned a lot from back in the days when there wasn't microwave ovens and there wasn't snow blowers and there wasn't any of that. So I think that's what really shaped a lot of what I am and who I am.
I love that because our greatest lessons, they often become and begin long before anyone sees our success. You chose to serve our country as a United States Marine. How did that experience shape your character and the way you approach life today?
Fair question. I believe that the Marine Corps just pounded more into my thick skull that I had already been taught. Responsibility, help others. Um, Because when I was raised, there was a community of people. You knew the people around you. You helped the farmers down the road. You helped the people in the towns. When someone was sick, you made sure they had a pot of chicken noodle soup and some peach cobbler or something to feed the family. We had all of that was just and the Marine Corps really instills in me, or in all Marines, I feel anyhow, the sense that the world is a much bigger place than just you. We're here to serve, we're here to help, and we can either be your worst enemy or we can be your best friend. That's your choice. And that's why we're first in, we're last out. And let's let's just protect this country. We live in a wonderful place, and when I went in, they didn't draft anybody. Everybody enlisted. So you chose the Marine Corps. It was a choice. It wasn't a you're going to go. Uh, I guess if maybe you were going to go to jail or something, they could have said you have the option. But no, I wanted to do harder and tougher because I think that is just going to make you better. It's going to make you stronger in life.
And it's definitely going to make you better. And thank you for your service. And thank you for sharing that with us. Your journey, it hasn't been easy.
Oh
You
no, man.
faced serious health challenges and endured more surgeries than most people could imagine. During your hardest seasons, what kept you moving forward instead of giving up?
Think the belief that God put me here on earth for a reason, and whatever that purpose was or whatever that reason was, whether it took me a long time to figure it out or not, I was here and I'm not going to let him down because while I have a father, I've got a dad. Well, he's passed away, but he's my earthly father. And I view God as being my ultimate father because that's really where it's at. And I'm not going to disappoint. I want to do my best at whatever I do. Try, try, try. Never give up, never quit, never stop. And if you think about it, quitting is easy. Quitting is it's easy to do. I don't want the easy way. I want the hard way because when I arrive at heaven's gates, which I hope I do, I I expect him to look at me and say, "Good Lord, son, you have been through a whole heck of a lot for me, doing and helping others and moving forward and starting companies and being a Marine and dying in the Marine Corps and all of that stuff." So I just I'm stubborn. I believe I've got a lot of grit, determination, perseverance, um, and that's just where it comes from. You just there again. It gets back to the farm life. You just didn't quit. You didn't know. You take a look at the generation of what they call the greatest generation of World War II. We were raised by those men. I was born back in the 40s. So at the end of the 40s, but I was born in the 40s. So we didn't have air conditioning. We didn't have television. We didn't have, we had coal in the furnace. You know, it was tough, but we didn't know that. We just thought it was regular. So I think that's what kept me going. Just, oh, I'm never going to quit. I'm not going to do it.
And I think so many people will find hope in that because everyone faces moments when quitting feels easier than
Mm.
continuing. Your book is titled The Strength Within You. It's always too soon to quit. What inspired you to write it, and what message do you hope readers take away from it?
To begin with, I was told I should write a book over 50 years ago because of what I'd been through and the multiple deaths and them coming back and them bringing me back to life and all the hospitalization. And I had another gentleman that he inspired me a little bit to write it because I had told some stories about what had happened to people, and they ended up in tears. And they just can't believe, how can you do that? Why would you want to do that? Well, because I'm alive, I'm breathing. And I don't think a lot of people realize how important life is until they've been dead and come back, until they're nearly dead and brought back, or until they've had an experience where they're not supposed to live, and then let's say cancer, and they become cancer free. And they go, oh my Lord, it gives you a different insight in life. I think that it just, life has a meaning that you can't understand. It's much sweeter, working for it, because if somebody just gives you something, it doesn't mean as much as if you've worked for it and attained it and drives you forward. I know I I apologize. I'm missing part of your other part of your question.
Okay, so that's what inspired you to write it. But what message do
Okay.
you hope readers take away from it?
That they have a strength within them, like you have a strength within you that God's put in you. And from all the choices you've made throughout your life and all the decisions you've made on those choices, give you a strength in things you've seen, things you've done. It's not just inside of you. It's a culmination of the things you bring within you. But it talks a little bit about my medical issues, but
Mhm.
more than that, it is, how did you get through it? It's like you can win an award, you can win first place, but what did it take to get you there? What did it take to move you through that? How did you overcome it? And then turn around and take that, what you've learned, and use it to face the adversities and the problems and the detours you're going to have in your life. Excuse me. um, by what you've learned that you have within you, that's a strength. And it's always too soon to quit. That's the main, the really, that's what it ends up being.
Definitely. It's always too soon to quit. Always.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love that because one person's story can completely change someone's else's life. If someone watching today feels discouraged or believes life has knocked them down too many times, what would you want to say directly to them, Jay?
I believe it would be a twofold statement. No, first of all, I would use the title of the book and tell them, you need to get up and get going, because you have a strength within you that you need to find, and you will move ahead. You just can't stop. So it's always too soon to quit. Keep moving forward. That would be number one. Number two, I would say, what lies behind us, or the things that we've been through, and what lies ahead of us, or what's going to happen, are small matters compared to what lies within us, because that's where the strength is at. The strength is within you, where it's come from, and where you're going to go.
That's a message I think a lot of people needed to hear today. Jay, when you hear the words blueprint to a millionaire, what do they mean to you personally?
I've done that. I've become that multiple. And I believe that a blueprint is really taking small steps. Have that dream, have that vision, see where you're going to go, believe in it, not hope, not hope. Hope is good. but you got to believe it. Have the faith in it, like you have faith in God, that He's there with you, and take small steps. Because if you make an error or you make the wrong move, you can correct something from a small step. If you try taking it with big steps and you fall down, now you might have a problem that you can't overcome or can't correct. So have that faith, the vision, believe in it, and just always keep moving ahead.
Definitely. That is first and foremost. And I appreciate your perspective because everyone's blueprint is different. And that's what makes these conversations so meaningful. Now, before we wrap up, I do have one final question for you, Jay. When people look back on your life years from now, what do you hope they'll remember most about Jay Setchell?
He could take everything ever thrown at him and never, ever quit. He never quit. He always moved ahead, regardless of whatever happened. Very simple.
Thank you for sharing your heart with us today. Before we say goodbye, please tell everyone where they can find your book, connect with you online, and learn more about the work you're doing.
The Strength Within You, It's Always Too Soon to Quit is available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I've got an Audible, I think, is now available just about any place they look. They just look up the title. And my website where they can I like to have letters, and I'd like to tell you something that happened just recently, if I may, when I'm done here. But the website is kind of what I was telling you about me. It's neverquittrying.com. And when I put those words in, never quit trying, I never expected that to be available. Look at all the sports teams, the professional athletes, the fighters, everybody in the world that could say, use that. And I typed it in and it was available. So I got neverquittrying.com, and there's a list, there's a place in there they can send me emails or ask questions. There's some comments, there's links to podcasts, there's link to my book as well. But there's one thing I would like to say, if I may, and I don't know if you want me to say it right now. Um, about a month ago, 5 weeks ago, I got a letter from a woman. Not is you never know who you're going to change their life or extend their life or make their life better. But I got a letter from a woman about like say about a month ago, and she said, "Mr. Setchell, I've got your book from my son, who got it from his son. So this was obviously a grandmother, correct?" And she said, "I read your book." And then I read it the second time. And the second time I read it, I underlined, and it's not a real big book, it's 4 hour read. Uh, but she said, I underlined a lot of words and comments you used and things that inspired me, things that made me think differently. And she said, the reason I'm telling you this, I reread everything I underlined multiples of times, several times. And what I want to tell you out of this is I'm 88 and a half years old. My husband's been dead for 5 years. And I really didn't care if I lived to be 89 or 90. I just didn't care. I was going to give up. And I am so inspired enough now that I want to let you know I am planning my 95th birthday. And that put a tear in my eye because that lady probably was ready to give up on life. And it changed her life. It changed her enough that she wants to live at least to 95. That's 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 amazing.
Wow, that is powerful. We are changing lives. Jay, thank you again for joining us. It has truly been an honor. And thank you to everyone watching. If today's conversation encouraged you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need to hear this message. I'm Empress Leah Starr. Keep building your blueprint to a millionaire. God bless, and we'll see you in the next episode. Hi, I'm Empress Leah Starr, host of the Starr Room. If you have a story of faith, purpose, resilience, business, or personal growth that could inspire others, we would love to hear it. Apply today and share your blueprint to a millionaire journey. I can't wait to meet you in the Starr Room.